Cooper Flagg, the #1 overall pick, a prospect that everyone was talking about tanking for, is finally starting to show signs of things clicking. Whether it be how he's getting to his spots, being more aggressive, that defensive potential really displaying itself, I believe that Cooper Flagg is really showing now that things are starting to click for him. And on a Mavs team that's been underwhelming and going through a lot of turmoil, you know, in the front office and the higher ups, I think Mavs fans should at least be happy to see that Cooper Flagg now is beginning to unlock his potential. And let's get right into that by looking into his scoring. And I think we got to talk about, what I've liked a lot from being able to step back and watch this Coop film is the confidence is starting to get back into the game, right? Like, this is actually not a bad shot at all, right? And it rims right out, and that's a tough miss. But that's one of those shots that if you're the Mavs, you're not mad at Cooper getting that look. And then the spin move, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yo, Coop's got a nice spin move. Like, gets down to Cole Anthony, spins, right? Gets Anthony to drop back, spins again. And because he got that shoulder into him, he's able to get into that release so much more comfortably and at the level that he wants to get it at, that I genuinely think what Coop's doing has been really, really impressive in terms of getting to his spots now. And again, I love that too. He's got the energy. He's never giving up on a play, right? He's trailing here just in case. And just immediately, because Gary Trent's there and Giannis is still a step or two behind, just takes advantage and immediately goes back up with it. And again, some of these shots are shots that I think he'll get better at. Like, that's a shot he can make. He's open. Now, do I think Coop's going to become a sniper from 3? No. I think bare minimum, he's getting above 30%. I think right now he's sitting at 28, 27 at the time of recording this video. And I don't imagine that really staying that way. I think he'll get up to 34, 35% in about 3 to 4 a game, and I think that's where things will change, right? But again, I just like the way that Coop is able to also play in transition, which I think will be big for this team, right? And again, you see shots like this, and he does a great job too of waiting, stops, gets his gather, and gets the ball to go down, gets the 2 ball to fall, right? Need to get his foot off the line, but again, those are the shots you like to see go down if you're, developing Cooper Flagg. Again, slows the game down and gets downhill to the rim. I honestly think when you look at his cleaning the glass in terms of the shot frequency, I think he should honestly be bringing up the rim percentage more. You let him continue to try and play downhill. You have these guys who can try and space the floor, but you at least got to give him a chance. And moments like this, I think, honestly aren't bad per se. Like, I love the spin past Gary Trent, waits, right? But Miles Turner just gets a piece. But that's high IQ. Right? Like, if he just maybe took another extra second, got the extra pump to lean into contact, tried to get, a foul, it could have worked. But either way, like, these are the right ideas. Like, that's the right shot to take there. And I think Coop, with time, will continue to grow and develop. So I think as a scorer, we're going to see, if he continues to play downhill and get to the rim more, you're going to see his numbers go up. And I think at that point, teams are going to respect that downhill game. And then he's also going to be very, very nasty once he can get that 3 ball to start to fall. But now let's talk about Cooper Flagg, the defender. Aside from the counting stats actually looking really good for the Rook, I think Coop has shown that switch ability that everyone sort of feared, the ability for him to be versatile and kind of be everywhere, right? Like, this is a pass right here off the bobble, and Coop does a great job, right? Just playing aggressive and assertive, which I think for a young guy, and he does it in a restrained way. So what I mean by that is, when you compare it to a guy like Matthias Buzelis, who I made a video on recently, his fouls become aggressive, but just sort of like lacking discipline. Coop is very disciplined while he plays aggressive, right? Like, this is a great way to play the lane. Just sits down, Sadiq Bey, Jeremiah Fears goes over, and he gets the tip and is able to then start pushing downhill and is able to get the bucket. Like, that is beautiful from the guy that you drafted #1, from the guy that people said you're tanking for the flag, right? And it's just the he immediately glances over. Just again, if you see it, just one more time, guys, I'm sorry I'm doing this, but you see him flash over his head to Jordan Hawkins, recognizing and understanding what the play's about to be, and is then able to snag a piece of it. And then we got to talk about Coop as a shot blocker, which is also going to be very, very good to see. So even you'll get stuff like this where Coop's able to then, again, I think just the burst of speed and mobility that he'll get on a guy going downhill and just waits and gets a piece. Again, it's just the patience that Coop plays with on defense that I think is incredible. But again, just Coop is able to get in his stance, watches the young guy just go and try and get a piece, and Coop just absolutely has no part of it. He refuses to allow some nonsense through. I think Coop is showing that sheer athleticism, first of all, in terms of how he can, rise up. Getting a piece to me on the three-point line, like, that's just incredible defense. Like, Trey Murphy gets a step back, and Coop's able to, at the pinnacle of the release, get his hand on it and change the course of the shot, obviously blocking it. Coop defensively lived up to the hype. I'm just going to be honest. Like, you see him guarding a shifty guy here in Alvarado. Does a great job of staying in front, getting a block on it. Now, it's unfortunate, bad bounce or whatever you want to call it. Just the way that Coop has been able to play, like, that's just remarkable recovery on Ryan Rollins. Like, that's how you want to play if you're Coop. Getting pieces of Devin Booker's floater, like, he has defensively lived up to the billing. Just plain and simple. Like, the hype coming out of college, he has lived up to. But now I want to get into Coop's passing and playmaking, because at first, the point guard thing was stupid. But he is showing legitimate signs of, being a good facilitator and passer. I think, frankly, so far for Coop, he has been at his best as a passer and playmaker when he can just make the easy reads and decisions. And that's why I feel like at first the Mavs were kind of setting him up to fail by putting him at the point guard. Putting him in a position where he's the primary facilitator and ball handler right off the rip, I don't think is meant to be his game. But I think if you let him make the quick, easy decisions to start, I think the defensive IQ is already showing that it will translate to the offensive end as a passer and a playmaker. That's just my opinion. He's able to read passes like I was able to show you guys. Why would he not be able to do that in the offensive end would be beyond me. But this is just like flashes like this. Coop goes downhill. Booker gets in front. He stops. Behind the back, gets the pass through, is able to get a piece for the and one. Like, that is great, great basketball from Coop. Like, I think, is he going to be a primary passer facilitator? No. But let's just say he's at his best on a championship contending team. Coop's at his peak, whatever you want to call those numbers. He's a great secondary playmaker or passer. I don't think he's ever really meant to be the primary facilitator, at least not at this point. So when you get flashes like this where he's able to make great, great smart plays in transition, he's able to get a piece and then push, I think you're going to see that he's going to look better and better. And I think, again, Coop is showing legitimate flashes of being a really, really good passer and playmaker. But now let's get into the overarching point, which is I think Coop's starting to show that he's getting it. Like, the game is starting to click for him at this level, and people just sometimes need to relax a little bit. So obviously, NBA Twitter is a thing. And you're going to be like, Emster, what's the point of starting with this? Well, you already know when Coop started off looking rough, VJ Edgecombe had the red hot start. People are now falling in love with guys like Derek Queen. Coop was starting to kind of get that. Was he really worth all this? Is he really all that? Like, all that nonsense, right? And even I, at times, looked at it and been like, some of this stuff, though, you could have seen if you watched him in college, or at least it read on him something, right? The shot is struggling right now to transition into the game. We see that. But the defense is legit. Frankly, like, this dude is guarding at a really, really good level considering everything that's going on. Scoring wise, he's starting to figure out how to get to his spots, the spots he wants to get to on the court, and how to do it. I think you're going to see the passing and playmaking get even better once the Mavs get a real primary ball handler next to him. Or maybe not ball handler, but facilitator, playmaker, however you want to call it, to kind of lessen some of that burden on Coop. Because then once, let's say he develops the scoring more, he gets up to, in the future, 22, 23 points a game. Not this year. I think I'll end up at like 18, 19. He brings up his scoring again. The defense, I think, is going to stay whatever it's at. Maybe get it even better because he'll be, more experienced, older, stronger, whatever you want to say. I do genuinely believe that Cooper Flagg is showing the signs of development and growth. It's just that we always expect so much from guys so early. Because if we're being honest, right? Victor, who I believe is the last generational talent we have had coming into a draft, whatever. Even his rookie year at the beginning looked kind of rough, right? Like the shot was looking kind of odd and he would have flashes. The defense was there. But I think sometimes with these rookies, especially the higher picks, you have to just wait a little bit, right? Because sometimes, right, like even my guy VJ had that red hot start to the season. Has looked very rough lately. Con Knipple has been red hot. Could that cool off? We don't know, but these guys are rookies. You have to give them a chance to grow. So ultimately, I think Cooper Flagg is showing legitimate signs that things are clicking. And now that they are, things are going to get dangerous. Not because the Mavs are going to be some contender or the Mavs are going to go on some run, but because then whoever inherits that GM job has the franchise cornerstone. And from there, you can legitimately build a contender. So let me know what you guys think of what Cooper Flagg has been doing. Do you think that he's showing those signs like I said? Do you think people were a little quick to call him out? As always, guys, this was Mr. No Soups. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I want to thank you guys again for all the love and support on the channel. It's really, really invigorated me and it's meant a lot to me. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.